Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm here with a very special video. One of you guys, actually I think it may have been two of you, sent me this article. So I am familiar with Dividend.com. I've been on there a couple of times before, but I mentioned in previous videos that I'm not a big fan of the YieldMax funds. And you guys was like, Shalise, we found a great article that we think you should look at because you can get dividend income every week and not invest in any yield max. So I'm like, what? Okay, let me go on and look at this and share with you guys on the channel so you can get like my first impressions of this. Because I was like, okay, like you guys can set this up, or there's an article that'll talk about setting it up so you can get a dividend every week from just 12 stocks, and it's not yield max, and it's pretty good companies. Okay, I'm listening. So make sure y'all like, share, and you subscribe, okay, so that we can keep the channel growing. So yeah, I'm on dividend.com. I will have this article linked down below, the one that was sent to me. And you guys can give me your feedback on like what you think about this strategy. Again, we're all learning new things. You're never too old to learn something new. Warren Buffett, who to me is the greatest investor, period, talks about he still reads, he's still learning about different things because things are just evolving. And so I wanted to just, again, I can earn dividend income every week, every single week. Okay, I'm listening. So of course, this article talks about dividend paying stocks. We've talked about that many times on the channel. And I hope you know that dividend stocks can pay monthly. So a good monthly one is Realty Income, Main Street Capital, SPYI. But some quarterly ones are SCHD, right? DGRO, VTI. And then some of the semi-annual and annual ones are more associated with mutual funds. So think your retirement-based accounts, like your target date funds inside of your 401ks, your 403bs, HSAs, etc. Okay? So there's, different dividend stocks and funds pay out on different schedules, and you get plenty of opportunities to get passive income. Because remember, passive income takes little to no effort from you to do. So these are all like some ads. So this is the weekly income strategy. Okay, so this was really intriguing to me. If you basically combine, look at this, various payout schedules, you can actually set it up where you can get a dividend every week. And again, this is not YieldMax. I don't want anything that doesn't grow. Yeah, you get a dividend, but it's just not, it's not built for that. At least for me personally. And like, I love how it talks about Wall Street's highest quality dividend stocks, and even some REITs, which I do like. Realty Income is a REIT. And so it really, it talks about, it may seem complicated because I was wondering like how could you get this every week, and this is not like YieldMax or something like that, or cover call option ETFs or something. So it talks about how, for example, Walmart pays dividends in January, April, June, and September, so they are quarterly. Blackstone pays out dividends in February, May, August, and November, and then Johnson & Johnson pays out March, June, September, and December. So I see where this is going. I see this where this is going. You can create like your own schedule in terms of different companies that pay out in different months, and even in those months in different weeks. Now you may ask, how do you know what a company pays out? I actually have stockanalysis.com up here. So this is the Walmart that I pulled up, ticker symbol WMT. And you can find, so this is for all the newbies out there. If you're brand new and you're trying to figure out how do you know what a company pays out in a dividend and how often it pays out, a great website is Stock Analysis because they will share that information with you. You can also go to Google, type it in, it'll tell you there as well. But Walmart, for example, pays out 94 cents every year. So that 94 cents gets split into 4 and it pays out quarterly. Okay. And you can come and see that the next ex-dividend date for Walmart is August 15th, and it will be for 23 cents, and it'll pay out September 7th, okay, or September 2nd, excuse me. So if I come back to here, you can see like what they're talking about in terms of Walmart pays its dividend in the first week of January, April, June, and September, and we see right here September 2nd. Okay, so I see what they're doing. So if you combine these stocks into a single portfolio, you can receive it. I'm thinking, let me see. I can open up a Robinhood account in my husband's name and maybe do this as a challenge. I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure yet. I'll see. Maybe for the new year. So this is the 12 stock portfolio strategy that the author came up with. Okay. So he said the first week, if you have Walmart and Kimberly-Clark, you will get a dividend the first week of January. Altria Group, which we do own Walmart as well, and Altria Group. The third week, if you own WP Carey REIT, it pays out there, and then Cisco in the fourth week of January. Okay, and then coming down to February, first week is AT&T, second week is Blackstone Group, third week is Apple. Yes, Apple does pay a dividend. The fourth week is Caterpillar, and the fifth week is another REIT, which is Simon Property Group. And then you see March here. Again, if you own these companies, you can get a Pfizer dividend the first week in March. Johnson & Johnson the second week. Okay, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. The third week. The fourth week is Lockheed Martin and also Avery. And then if you come down to April real quick, I'm just wanted to run through these. You see how April matches up with January? So the same companies that pay out in January pays out in April those same weeks. And then you see down here in May, AT&T, Blackstone, Apple, etc. They paid out in February, and it just kind of cycles, if that makes sense. You can see like June, same companies that paid out in March. July, the same companies that paid out in April, and so on and so forth. And they're saying if you own these 12 stocks and you build your share sizes in them, you could get paid every single week for a year. And I'm thinking if I were to embark on this type of challenge, I would probably try to choose a few different companies. But all of these are not bad. I know my husband and I cannot own Johnson & Johnson individually. We can own it through funds, but because of the industry my husband works in, he has, like, I wouldn't say insider info, but he does work in clinical trials. So they cannot own individual healthcare stocks. They can own it through funds, but they cannot own it individually. And neither can I as his spouse. We live in the same house. So I would probably find another company that paid out, the second week, quarterly, like in September. But I do like a lot of these companies. These are all really good companies for the most part. I've heard of most of these. And I love how down here it says, sometimes the pay dates can be the third or fourth week. This is true for any dividend stock because it depends on if the dividend day falls on a weekend. If it falls on a holiday, they will usually push it to the next business day. And that can kind of throw off a little bit, which is why you should be tracking. You should be tracking because then you'll be able to, see, you can create your own calendar, if that makes sense, which I have done in the past. Several videos, I'll link one down below where you can see the calendar we have in our spreadsheet. But yeah, this strategy, again, just provides regular income through all stages of business cycles, through volatile periods. It talks about, how these are solid companies. So again, you're not in a whole lot of YieldMax and a lot of risky stuff. Though REITs, some people would say they are, risky, but I like REITs. It just depends on which one you have. But like Apple's a good company. Yes, Apple pays a dividend. ExxonMobil pays out a dividend as well. So I think if I did this, I would start it in a new portfolio and I would probably track it from scratch, like getting me, a first full share and then building from there and then tracking the dividends every week. Cause I think this would actually be a pretty fun challenge to get paid every week and not have to worry about volatility so much with, other types of ETFs or funds. So I would probably pick some of my own, but again, these companies are for the most part solid. And, I think it's an interesting strategy. So thank you to the two people who told me about this article. I love the fact that you guys were actually on dividend.com researching and, learning more about investing and ways to just grow your money so that you can be a wise investor. That's so important. I will have this article, like I said, linked down below so that you guys can go ahead and take a look at it and let me know what you think too. Like, have you ever heard of something like this in terms of with good companies? Like I said, several of these individual companies we actually own. So it wouldn't be hard to do a strategy like this if that makes sense. And again, if you're new and you're trying to figure out, okay, how do you determine or how do you figure out if a company pays, like how often and how much, you can come to stock analysis and type it in, or just simply go to Google and Google will tell you, hey, so and so pays out an annual dividend of this amount and this is how often they pay it out. Right. So Google will tell you. So again, guys, let me know down below your thoughts. Make sure you like, you share, and you subscribe. Smash notification bell so that you don't miss an upload every time I post a video. And until next time, you already know, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.